Hello.
Hey, Barbara, Jim here.
Hi. Was having
Hey.
trouble getting on until I couldn't get on until I hit do it without video. I don't know.
There's a little thing on the bottom that says mute. Next to it, it says start video. You might
I
be
know.
off with.
Yeah, but I was on before and it was just me. I couldn't find it. I know. Okay, let me try it
Oh.
now. So when here I am.
There you are. I see you.
There I am. But I couldn't get on before unless I hit start without video. So I don't know. Whatever.
Strange.
I'm here now.
And apparently they're recording already, whatever that means.
It's great for taking minutes.
Yeah.
You can always go back and check. I gotta go find a pencil. Does this actually start at 6:45, not 6:30?
Yeah, 6:45.
Wow.
Yeah, that's confusing because they have it listed different ways in different places.
Oh, it's cold. What is today? Stop videoed.
Hey, Betsy.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good.
Jim,
Yes,
do you happen to remember what the program is that they use for taking minutes?
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently Julie was going to give that to us at some point.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't have any idea what the program is, but she said she would walk Elizabeth through it.
It seemed like Elizabeth figured it out pretty easily.
Yeah, yeah.
I need
so-
that kind of program for our lake association.
Uh-huh, okay.
So I'll ask Elizabeth again.
It might be the same, it might be the same one.
I would assume so, yeah. The minutes came out great.
Yeah, they did, they did.
So that would be good. This is very different from going down to the annex.
Yeah, quite, quite. Yeah. In the annex, it's fun to actually be able to see everybody and talk and that.
Hi,
It's just
Barbara.
not,
Yeah,
this isn't quite the same.
No,
No, this Zoom thing has gotten old.
Yeah, yeah.
it does have some convenience points.
It does. I don't have my shoes
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
That's right. That's right. And we're not in our pajama shed.
No, almost.
That's right.
It's too cold to get in my
Almost, the
pajamas. I
sweatshirt.
can't get undressed.
I totally
Oh.
agree. I know.
Yeah.
And
Hi,
Dave,
Dave.
Hello.
How are
there
you doing? Surviving the cold. It's chilly out there tonight.
I have horses in the backyard, so I'm forced to go out there all the
Ooh,
time and
yeah.
bring them
Oh.
water and
Oh,
tip the ice out of the buckets. And it's like,
I feel
oh.
your pain. We used to have horses for quite a while, and I just
Poor
remember like the Christmas Day that it was 0
Ah,
or something
yeah.
Yeah.
a while back, and I was like, oh, yeah.
And you have to go out every couple hours and break the ice off, right? When it's
Yeah,
that cold.
yes, the ice buckets freeze up pretty quickly.
We
Yeah.
invested in those electric heated ice buckets. So
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
those for a while. It's just, I don't know what happened to them. It hasn't been that
Yeah.
cold.
well, that could be part of the problem. It
Until
was,
now.
they were nice. They were very
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah.
The coil was contained inside and
Yeah, just plugged them in and it kept the water
yeah.
nice and warm all the time.
Hi, Mike.
Mike.
Signing on. Not connected yet.
Oh, his mic's off. Oh, there he is. No.
Mike, your microphone is muted.
Mike,
Hey, Kath.
there's Mike.
Ah,
There you
There you
are.
are.
There he is.
yeah, early in the week I attended land uses meeting and I couldn't get my camera to work. You know,
Oh, really?
I'm just going around, just clicking everything in sight. Alrighty.
So Carmen just sent us an email that she's not going to be here.
Right.
Moments ago. Okay.
I also received one from Mary McGrath. She won't be able to
Oh,
make it this evening also.
Okay. There's Amy.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Amy.
Kathleen, did you ever get with excuse me, Christina, about filling in for the minutes and stuff into their system?
Well, I didn't, yeah, I did get with her, but she didn't recommend using the system was used. She said I could email her the minutes and she would fill it in. I don't know, she wasn't very receptive to showing me how to do it. So that's what I did last week. I went in last week and handed her my minutes because I came home after the meeting and just typed them up. And then the next day I went in, she said it was way more than anyone ever does. Usually they hand her the paper, so.
Really? Really?
Yes. Well, not
Julian said
us,
that
not us.
Julian said that she'd help you. Is that still on the table or not?
I don't know. I didn't reach out to her. I mean, I can do it. It's fine.
Julie had called me early in the week, and she was going to show up at a meeting because she thought it was going to be in person. She was going to ask that you bring a laptop, and she was going to show you how to do it. And I told her that it'll be Zoom, and I haven't heard back from her.
Oh, so is Julie still on the, is she
No.
still a member? Okay,
No.
so she's gone. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, if you talk to her again, I'm all set. I don't really,
Okay,
I'll
Okay.
just do it. It seemed to work out all
Where's
right.
Christina?
all right.
Kathleen, can I ask what was the name of the program again?
I don't
the-
know. They didn't even tell me that.
Oh, you just did it all by hand. Okay.
I just came back and typed up who was there and what you see
Yeah.
in minutes at that,
It's a
was
template.
up, and then she put them in that template. 'Cause
Okay.
Isn't there a template? And she goes, well, it doesn't really help, blah, blah, blah. blah. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
that was, what's her name?
3 years ago, I used to do it.
Oh, you did? That
Yeah.
was Christina, yeah, Christina.
Yeah, Christina was just on a second ago.
Oh, I mean, she was very nice, but she kind of dissuaded me from using the program, so I don't know.
Oh,
I'll see how it
we have
goes.
sufficient people for a quorum, so I guess we'll get started. Call the order at, what do we got here, 6:48?
Okay. Doing roll call.
Yeah,
So Julie's off,
correct,
Carmen's absent,
correct.
Michael's here, Roberta, no.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, there you are, I'm sorry. I didn't see you down there in the corner.
iPad 5.
Dave, James, Amy, Barbara,
Here.
me, and Mary McGrattan's absent. Okay, we got a quorum.
Alrighty, at this time, what I do is like to amend the agenda because we have the correspondence from the Eastern Connecticut Conservation District requesting a donation, a dues. So I'd like to put that under new business. So we'll make a motion now to put that on new business. We can discuss it then. I made the motion that will discuss Eastern Connecticut Conservation District's request for a donation. We'll put that under new business. Have somebody second it?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alrighty. So we'll add that to under new business.
And is it the Eastern Connecticut Conservation Committee?
What is it?
Conservation District.
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 Eastern Connecticut Conservation District.
Request for a donation. Okay.
Has everyone had the opportunity to read the minutes from December last meeting?
Mhm.
Is there any changes, corrections, additions?
Nope.
No?
Not for me.
Thank you, thank you.
Thanks. Good job.
I make a motion that we waiver reading the minutes and approve them as written. Have someone second it?
I'll second that.
Alrighty. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay. Aye. Opposed? Alrighty.
I have a question.
Yep.
Is James a voting member for this meeting? So that, if he is, we have to add that.
Yes, we can sit him as a voting member for, because Carmen isn't here.
Okay.
So Mike, is one of us the 7th regular member then?
Has somebody been into the mayor's office and received a letter?
I received a letter. Was I supposed to go in again though? I can't remember. I just thought of that.
Did you get sworn in?
I guess not for after you just said that, I just thought of it, but I got the letter and, oh, I had to write her. Yeah, I think she did say that now. I had to write her back and tell her that I accept. So I'll have to
Yeah,
stop
you're
in.
listed as a regular member, but there are only
Okay.
6. And Betsy, Barbara and I are all 3 still alternates.
Right.
I
Oh.
emailed Fred and asked if he'd be willing to move me up to the regular one, and he never got back to me. I emailed him right after our meeting last month, so I'm not sure what to do with that.
Email him again.
Okay.
Go to his secretary and make an appointment. That's what I've done. I have found that I have to make an appointment if I want to speak to the mayor. A couple of
Mhm.
years ago, it seemed like he wasn't
Yeah.
as busy and you could walk in there. But now you know, I mean, you can just walk in and just speak to her and just say, oh yeah, when's he got a free minute? And she'll say, oh,
Okay.
2 o'clock or 1 o'clock or whatever. But
So
yeah,
the email
sometimes-
didn't do the trick then.
Go past him in person.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'll go in and talk. Go ahead, Kath.
sorry, I have a question. So when I'm taking the minutes, when we do votes, it's only voting members' votes that I count, right? So all-
Correct,
Unless you're named a voting member for this meeting.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And James is the only one right now out of the 3 alternates that's voting today. Is that correct?
I would say yes, that we would seat him as a voting member in Carmen's place because he has seniority.
Okay. Okay.
Sounds good. I'll go in tomorrow, Mike, and see if I can talk with her. and
All right.
See what they want to do. Yeah, I was
Just
wondering,
read-
maybe Hillary was coming back. Is Hillary not coming back? I thought maybe that's why Fred was waiting.
No, I looked at administrations and the town council's meeting minutes, and they've got a bunch of reappointments. And Hillary's being reappointed to another commission, but it does not say here.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I do not believe she will be.
I got
Okay. Sounds good.
I got a letter saying I was reappointed.
Remember, everybody, when you get appointed or you get reappointed, you still must go in again and get sworn in again.
I guess I do need to go for sure, right? I'll have to pull up that email.
All righty.
Glad you said that.
Okay. All right, I'm all set.
All righty. Do we have any public comments? No, there's no public already. Informational items. Anybody have any informational items they want to share? This is one of the few months I don't have anything. All righty. Then we'll go right to old business. Property walks. Has anybody been in any of them? No. And with the way the weather's coming next month, I don't think we'll see any this month.
So we're all gonna get together tomorrow morning when it's 4 degrees, right? And walk
It's
one-
4 degrees. Oh yeah, we're gonna take the dogs and we're all going for a big walk.
Sounds good.
Oh yeah.
Do you think in the future we could set up like a walk, everyone go on the same walk, like would have to be a special meeting or something, but we could do
Well,
like a
that's a great-
Saturday
good
morning
idea.
walk or something. I don't know.
Yes, as long as we did not discuss
Right.
business, but
Right.
just to go for a walk.
Yeah.
Here would be an example. If we're going to be doing the maintenance plan for the different trails, we could, get a group together, and that could be considered research. We wouldn't discuss what we're going to do, but we could discuss, we could observe, we could come up with ideas. So when we bring them to the meeting to put together a maintenance plan. You know what I mean? We could do something like that, yes.
And you call it a workshop?
You could call it a workshop, yes. Yes.
Well, I think, possible future workshops.
How come you can't discuss any of the information about it at the time?
Freedom of information.
I'm sorry,
What?
what?
Freedom of information. If we discuss commission business, it must be open to the public. So we would have to post it and say, we're going for a walk and we're going to discuss what we're going to do here. And the public is invited, and they would have to post it and stuff like that.
Oh,
You have to keep minutes, I think.
And you would have to keep minutes. Yes.
as you're walking and not stumbling.
But you could talk about the trail we're walking on. Look at that tree, look at that tree. And
Yeah,
that
you
would be
can.
fine.
You can.
Yeah,
You
okay.
can do things of that nature. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, it might not be a bad idea to post it as a special meeting, and it might get people in to come out and go for a walk and see the property, in the spring when it's warmer. I mean,
You could.
I don't
could.
think you'd have to take very extensive minutes, because we probably wouldn't vote on anything. So it's just who's there, what time we got there.
Right. What I have seen is sometimes land use or planning and zoning, they will have what they call a field trip to go
Yeah.
survey a piece of property that there's a permit or something or request before them. And they'll just publish it in their minutes that they will decide to go on such and such a date, and there'll be a walk. And that way the whole public knows it. So I guess if they discover the pros and cons of it during their walk, the public is then invited. You see what I
Nice.
mean? That you can do that. So yes, maybe next month or something when, when the weather starts to become better, we could put that in our minutes. It would be published in our minutes. And then, yes, we could do that.
Okay.
That way we could stay within all the rules and regs and still accomplish it. The Whitehall, next thing, the Whitehall Environmental Assessment Plan. I haven't done any more on that, contacted anyone else more on that. So there's no movement on that, no action. The Open Spaces Acquisition Plan, I believe I sent sorry.
Sorry, Mike. I actually reached out to Maggie Jones and to GOSA's president, Joan.
Mhm.
I know Maggie really well. I know Joan less well, but just who did they use for their property management plans, that sort of thing. And Maggie Jones, I'm pretty sure all of you know, used to be the director of the Pequot's Post Nature Center.
Mhm.
And she does property management plans, not in the scheme of the one that was done for Tri Town Trail. She's not into CAD programs and developing where the trail should go and that kind of thing. But in terms of assessment, she is a really valuable resource. So she offered to come to a meeting and talk to you all about what she can do and what she's comfortable doing. She's very good at birds. She's walked a zillion trails around here. She knows so much. It's the past year I was walking with Steve Fagan as he was writing his articles for the day for the outdoor column. And she was always very present there. And so it won't be free. She actually does have a charge for her services, but coming to the meeting, and she even sounded like she'd offer to take a walk with us around the property just to see what we're actually looking for. So if it's trail maintenance, looking for invasives, how to manage them, how to preserve special areas that have features that we need to protect, she can do that kind of thing. So it's $200 for kind of the assessment and $100 an hour, sort of putting it together and seasonally assessing it, that sort of plan.
Yeah,
And then for Joan from GOSA gave me several property management plans. They use a different company who she said it's helpful that they already know the property. So they've fed a lot of information to the person that actually wrote up the plans. And I'm happy, I think it's fine for me to share those with everybody. So I could either email them directly to everybody. What's the best way to do that? Or send it to, there was I forgot who it was that sent out the previous plan.
I
What-
I gave the pages I had to Christine
Okay,
and asked her to forward them to everybody on the committee.
okay,
Because
But
we
I-
weren't meeting in person and I didn't
Right.
know how else to get them to everybody.
okay. We have everybody's email from this link, right? So I could just email everybody what Ghost has done. They had quite a few. They had like 3 different plans that she's shared with me.
Alrighty.
I don't want to overwhelm people with all the paperwork, and some of it will be redundant sort of stuff, but I don't know if that would be helpful.
yes. If you could reach out to her, to have her come to our next meeting,
Okay,
like you said, and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it would be a very good idea to,
okay,
because I've looked around and people don't get back to me. Then they say, I'm not exactly sure what you're looking for.
oh,
And then I look at things and I see different companies that do stuff, and it doesn't really seem to be what we're looking for. So
Right.
no, I think, it would be very, very helpful if she showed up. That
okay,
would give us a starting point anyways.
right.
Yes.
And we already have the older plan that
Yeah.
was produced. And so Maggie said a lot of times it's just kind of building on that, reassessing it and building from there. Joan also sent me a link to the Land Trust Alliance, which has a bunch of learning tools. Are you familiar with that group? So I'll send a link with the email with the other stuff. So they have some learning tools. There's some benefit, apparently, if you are actually a member of it, you can access some other stuff. But
Right.
it's a starting point just to look at what's out there.
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
couple of 3 of them I looked at, and I'm not sure if I looked at that one or not. I spoke
Okay.
with them.
All right, yeah, I'll reach out to Maggie and I'll send on the information I have from
Please,
GOSA.
please do.
Yep,
Okay. Already. Then the open spaces acquisition plan. I think I sent everybody a copy of it.
yeah,
You looked at it. Again, it's just a rough idea. Basically, what I did is there is an acquisition plan from like 2002 that has different arrows going different places and stuff like that. And what I did is I try to bring it up to date to things to actually reflect what's happened on the ground. And this seems to be the places I think might be the best. If somebody has had projects or somebody has any other ideas, please send them in. And again, it's only a rough draft. If we clean it up and everything else like that, and we agree on it finally, then from there, we can actually begin to start to look and identify properties that we would be interested in. David and I was in at with the town planner earlier this week. And one of the things, she's very supportive of the idea of putting together one of these plans. I also sent a copy to her, but she's so busy with other things, she hasn't responded back yet. But she would be included later on in a lot of our discussions, stuff like that. She even has an example of what she did for North Stonington. So she can give a lot of guidance to it too. But again, read through it, everything else like that. You think there should be any modifications? I will admit, I plagiarized everything. Everything was cut and paste. You
okay,
know what I mean? So I cannot take credit for, the whole thing. So again, we can start looking at that, and like I say, please send me some recommendations or anything else like that, or if you want to discuss now, anything you think we need to add, subtract, move around, Or would you like to maybe study it some more?
No, I think that was a very good gathering of information that you have there. And we're well on our way now. Now
Okay.
that you've done that.
Alrighty, so like I said, read it through again some more. Excuse me. And, you know, if anything strikes you, send me something to that and I can include it or something like that. I'll try to clean the thing up a little bit more, and maybe if I can figure out how to attach maps and stuff to all this, try to make it a little bit more professional looking. Alrighty.
Mike, did you ever go to, several years back, there was a meeting over in Norwich, and I'm not remembering exactly where it was, maybe 5 years ago, where they had a big, huge scale map of potential open spaces and links between these spaces and a rail system, a trail system. Does that ring a bell with anybody?
No,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who it was. I'll ask and see if Steve or Maggie remembers, because they had a huge map and they were asking people for input. Like, what are you looking to see? Where would you like trails to be? And then I didn't hear anything more about it. Oh, I recognize the cattail.
I see the cattail.
My cat does the same thing.
I'm surprised my dog isn't.
Every
in.
time I sit down here.
Yeah, I recognize that.
She usually comes in every meeting.
Yeah, I'll see if I can figure out, because the map was great, because it was just very expansive. That's what I remembered about it. And maybe it was affiliated with the Council of Governors, Southeast Connecticut Council of Governors.
I remember something, Roberta, do you remember? There was some, like, could have been CCOG that requested like all of our trails and all of
Yes.
our stuff, and we sent them all of our information. So
Yes.
you remember who that was?
No, but it might be in prior minutes.
Okay.
Maybe I
Okay.
could find it out that way.
A few years.
I
It
don't,
was a few years ago.
I don't think that we've had anything come up like that. I think this is maybe year 6 or 7 that I've been on the commission, and I don't remember being invited to anything like that. So I don't know who would have sponsored it. But we did, within the last 2 years, when we were getting together our trail program, send all of our trail information to a central group who's been collecting trail information all around the state.
That's all trails, I believe.
That's
Oh.
correct.
The All Trails Mapping Program.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But
No,
that
it wasn't them.
No, but that would give us an idea what's in this area to
Right.
connect pieces. You
Right.
know, depending on who's submitted their trails to them,
Right?
it would give us a place to take Mike's idea about trail connecting to one spot.
Right. They have a trail going through our property, and then they have a trail going over Lantern Hill through the Eastern Pequot Reservation. And they have several trails that we're like, huh, those are trails now.
Right, right.
It's interesting what it does.
And you don't know whose trail it really is. you
Oh,
know,
that's
who-
right. Yeah, you don't usually. I'll see if I can ask and track back where we saw that.
I looked at some of the trails, like here, like one of the things I recommended was coming from the Pocatonic Cove Preserve and connecting that to the Tri Town Trail, because there's actually, we'd only need permission through one property and they could connect. But that from there, you go to Preston Park, and from Preston Park, you get onto the Blue Trail, which is a Pequot Trail. And that leads down and through the Mashantucket's property, the reservation. They're trying to re-establish that trail, which then you can connect to the trail. It's called the Narragansett Trail. It's
Mhm.
part of this Blue Trail system in Connecticut that then leads up into Patchogue, goes over Lantern Hill. So I was looking at
Wow.
trying to make some connections that way.
Mhm.
And also I'm trying to look at the connections going south to
Mhm.
meet into where Groton is trying to come to the north.
Right.
You know what I mean? If anybody has any idea, like Betsy, over there towards where you are, how,
Right.
because I looked at trying to connect with North Stonington. And I think perhaps I need to speak with the town planner, because she has quite a bit of work she did over there.
Oh,
But somehow
yeah.
they might be able to connect in that direction also. This is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. There may be some updates or some
Mhm.
additions we can add to this whole plan to begin with, if we can figure out.
Right.
I'm just not so familiar with that side of town.
Yeah, there's actually an old Pentway that runs from behind or south of Bush Pond. And so it's Hyde Mill Pentway, and it keeps going across through what was the Brown turkey farm. So Witchwood Farm, do you guys remember that? They raised turkeys that you could, they're out of business now for several years, but you're buying a fresh turkey for Thanksgiving. And they used to have a huge turkey farm, and nothing is happening with that farmland now, but there is an old Pentway that went across that and connected to 201 and ended up near Al Harvey Road. And so it would be kind of interesting if anything is happening with that land in North Stonington. And, how to kind of make that mesh with something else. It's kind of like when we first moved here, there were a lot of old fire roads up on top of Cider Hill itself. That sort of just became overgrown, but they had so many fire roads. We used to ride our horses up on them all the time, not just Pentways, but fire roads. So I don't know why they never were maintained and kept open.
Who has jurisdiction over them?
Yeah.
The fire roads, I have no idea. I mean, I would have thought it would have been a town thing. So there's way more than just Pentways. And the Pentway that ran over, that would be called Cider Hill Pentway, has been closed off. And I think the town has an agreement with the owner at the top of the hill that it's no longer a public access route. Unfortunately, because that was kind of nice. That went up and over. Unless we
So
could.
So is a Pentway mean that it's public access?
Well, a Pentway used to be a way of, it was a space for farmers to move their livestock from one area to another if it was through somebody else's property and they were trying to get it somewhere else. So that was the original idea behind a Pentway. It did sort of become public access in a sense. So there still is the Pentway that comes up from the silica mine, the old silica mine building, comes up Homestead Road. And then there's a Pentway called Homestead Pentway that shoots up the hill, and that is still open. And you actually could drive a high clearance vehicle over it. And it comes right out onto Indiantown Road. There are a couple of houses at the very end of it next to Indiantown Road. So it's coming out just east of kind of where the reservation housing area main entrance is. So it's between the museum entrance and the reservation housing entrance. Anyway, and there's then the land that runs along there is actually land that's owned by the USA and Trust for the Mashantucket tribe. And a friend of mine had gotten permission, there are trails there, and she was riding her horses on it all the time. They had given her permission to ride her horses on there. And that comes out on Shoeville Road on the end toward where Indiantown Road would end and Iron Street starts. So there are some old connections up there.
Already. Ready.
So
I guess I
Thank
got
you.
some more research to do.
yeah, yeah, talking to some owners, I think.
Yeah.
Convincing owners.
Because even going over Cider Hill, I understand he's not too fond of seeing cars driving or people over the top of it. But if there was, like you say, if there was an old fire road along the southern edge of his property where he didn't have to see anybody, it
Mhm.
might be agreeable. I don't
Yeah.
know. something of that nature. I can
Right.
see that. Alrighty. I do know where that old turkey farm was because my wife has lived around here for 30-something years. And she used to
Yeah.
point it out to me. So
Yeah,
I know where it is.
they had good turkeys.
And I think she used to go to church over there too. There's a Catholic church over there.
There's a church down
Yeah.
there.
Right. Alrighty. Power equipment. We've got the purchase orders all done up. I sent a copy of the purchase order to Ganos. He's received it. I spoke with him recently. It's like everything else. He says, you don't need it right away. And I said, no, we don't need it right away. And he says, good, because yeah, I know.
It's on a slow ship.
Supply problems, shipping problems. So they're just waiting for the equipment to come in. It's like,
At the price we're getting it, we can wait a little while.
yeah, we can wait a little while. Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's, the supply holds ups. He's waiting for the pot. He's waiting for the equipment to come in. So that's all set. We're just waiting. Alrighty. Tri Town Trail Greenway. Dave and I were down speaking with the town planner to let her in on it and ask for advice, support, etc., like that. Dave, if you want to.
Well, of course, we picked up from last month, the Conservation Commission voted to nominate the Tri Town Trail Greenway as a Connecticut Greenway. And it then has to be endorsed by a vote of the Ledger Town Council. And so just last week, we went to the committee meeting of the Land Use Committee. The Land Use Committee is not a separate commission. It's just a subcommittee of the Town Council. And they are the ones who recommend it to the Town Council. As they discussed it, they thought that we ought to have, before the vote of the Town Council, that we ought to have the input of the town planner. And also, there were some other questions about which boxes to check on the nomination form. And so we made that appointment with the planner, and she seemed cooperative and would probably write a note of support, or at least to give her input to the Land Use Committee before next month's meeting. And we will, I have already started to write a little additional paragraph that explains our check marks and why we did it the way we did. And I think with all that, if everything goes well, we can expect that they'll put it on the agenda for the February Town Council meeting. We hope.
She seems very supportive of the idea. Any type of trail systems, greenways, anything, open spaces. She seems to be very supportive of any of these ideas or any of these types of plans we have.
So we're on our way.
What's her name?
Juliet Hodge,
Thank you.
Hodge or Hodges.
Okay, I'll look it up. Thanks. Oop, what happened here?
Alrighty. Is there any other old business to come before the commission? None. Alrighty. Under new business, I guess the thing we placed on new business this evening.
Yeah.
The Eastern Connecticut Conservation District requests, it's like a contribution for like dues for the other year. They're asking for $1,000. They ask us every year for $1,000, and every year we've given them 500. I'm correct on that, Roberta?
Yes.
Yep.
A lot of money.
That's why I think it might be worthwhile to approach them about walking the property again. I mean, they get dues from us, but that would be a benefit to us if they would at least give us some kind of an observation from somebody else. I think the fact that Maggie would walk the property is good because she's a good observer. But anybody who would come from ECCD might come from a different perspective. And that might be helpful to have more than one input from a different group. I'm not pushing anything in particular, just trying to add as much information as we can. So if we write something, it's the best we can do in 2022.
Now, when I was looking for the different places, I believe Eastern Connecticut Conservation District, I did look on their website. I may have looked at the Land Trust Alliance. There was 2 or 3 of them I looked at. And when you had membership within these organizations, they did provide certain services for no cost, and then some other services for a low cost. And like management plans, surveys and stuff like that. But again, when I was looking at these things, I did not find anything that spoke directly to what we were trying to do. And that may be because I'm just not sure of the terminology. We're not really sure of what I'm asking for. So what it is we can go back to their websites, check out, like you say, they may do management plans, they may do surveys, they may do some type of assessment. All right. And if they do, then let's give them a contribution and ask them for one of their services.
Right.
Is what I'm
You want-
thinking.
I'll volunteer to go look it up and maybe make some calls and find out what we would get for our money by being, not for our money, but by being a member, right? That's what
Yes.
we're looking for, what our benefits are for being a member.
Yes, yes. What would be our benefits of being a member of it? Yes, and that's what I'm thinking of. And if we'd like to, we could put off making a decision for a contribution until next month's meeting, until we
More information.
get more information. If I don't know how anybody feels about that.
Now, they're the ones who did the current Whitehall plan.
Right.
And we agreed that it was not sufficient. So I think we might have a better idea now of our expectations for a new plan, which wasn't there in the first one. But since they did the first one, I have a report from them that talks about the goals of the ECCD. And it talks about providing natural resource conservation information and education, and provide municipalities with technical assistance.
Right.
So I think there are some things that they might be able to provide that might be helpful. I don't know, but it's worth asking about it. And the last time they took 2 people took a walk, I think, in October and November. So even if they did it one time a year and we knew what they looked at that time of year, we might be able to then supplement it with similar observations at other times of the year, so it was more complete.
So do you want me to call them and find out what their pitch is
Yeah,
and see what? All right. Try to.
How many years have we been paying dues to this organization?
as long as I've been here.
Oh,
Yeah, I think as
so
long as
it's,
I've been here, about 8 years.
so all the towns commissions do that? Is that they're like the gold standard for this, or?
Yes, if you look at their website, they do have a listing of all the towns that contribute to them. And it's pretty much all the towns in southeastern Connecticut, yes.
Okay.
Well, I
Are
don't know
they
anything
also
about
the
'em,
ones
so
that-
I'll look them up.
Are they also the ones that we went through when we did the Pocatonic Cove, the boat landing?
Yes,
So we have worked with them in the past on other projects.
Okay.
and I think the page I sent, 2 pages I sent everybody on Whitehall Park is part of their written review when they looked at the property in 2002.
Right.
So looking at that, we could have an idea of what we're looking for this time plus. Because I think management plans in 20 years have probably gotten a little more sophisticated. Is that a good way to say it? Or more inclusive of other things? And at the time, I don't think they looked at quite so many things. The other thing I sent there was the table of contents, and you can see that what kind of things they addressed. Now, I will tell you, this report is available in the file cabinet right behind Christine
Yes.
in the mayor's office there. And if you go in and look at it, you'll see most of the things in this table of contents are things that they copied out of other sources. Lots of materials, maps, things that came from the Yukon School of Agriculture on endangered species and soils. And so it isn't a real personalized piece addressing Whitehall. It's quite general information that's great to use, but I don't think it gives us the kind of information we're looking for. So it's particular to Whitehall.
Sorry about that.
So you'll contact them and see, what it is, and then, we can all look up ourselves too.
Well, I'll do a little survey. I'll do a little summary.
Yep. And then, next month we can address this, this item.
Also, the information that I'm gonna send on from GOSA will be helpful just to see how a paid plan gets done.
What it's supposed to look like.
Yeah,
that
right,
may help us understand what it is we're actually looking for.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Okay. Any other new business come before the commission? No? Alrighty. I guess I can ask for a motion for an adjournment then, if we're seeing we got everything wrapped up.
Let's hope that next month we're in person again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here.
That'd be good.
those N95s are good, but man, they have pain to wear.
I brought a mask just in case you guys were contagious.
If you did not know it, the mayor's office is handing out boxes of N95s.
Oh,
All you gotta do is show your driver's license that you're a resident.
Oh, wow,
Nice.
okay.
good to know, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
There's 20 masks in a box.
Oh, whoa,
Nice.
hopefully that'll last a while.
Well, that's right. Long enough to not need them anymore, right?
Not need them
That's-
anymore,
that's what
right?
I'm banking on.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Can I have a
Make
motion
a
for
motion
adjournment?
that we adjourn.
Are
Okay,
we adjourned?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Alrighty.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye, everybody,
All right.
thank
Good night.
you,
Bye.
Mike,
bye-bye.
Mike, I wanted to tell you that I'm going to be away for next month's meeting, where I'm going to be out of state.
Okay.
So I'll miss that meeting. Thank you.
All right. So if there's any ideas concerning, anything, just email them to me. You can
Okay.
do that on the friend of information. I just can't discuss it.
Right.
You can send me stuff. All right. So if you come up with anything, you're not going to be here, right? Alrighty.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, thank you.
Night,
all.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.